Here's my 1955 Royal Enfield Bullet 500 greenlaner again, and I just thought I'd discuss some subtle changes I've made recently to it, and hopefully slight upgrades maybe. And the first one I was quite alarmed to find actually. My father and myself built this machine probably 10 years, maybe a little bit more ago, but it's hardly done anything. It's been kept indoors. Probably only done a few hundred miles since we built it actually. And when we built it, we fitted this Pirelli tyre, Pirelli Professional MT43 to the front. As far as I know, everything's been fine with that, but for whatever reason, perhaps we couldn't get an equivalent of one or the other, but we put a Dunlop on the rear, a Dunlop D801. And it's a very grippy tyre, and quite reassuring, you know, when I was riding the bike on the road. No weird twitchiness or tendencies to sort of tip over or anything around corners. It was all very good, but I recently noticed that it was having trouble standing up to what really is the massive torque of this engine. And you see there we've got one knobble gone completely, and the thickness of the rubber I'm pressing there is a little thicker than inner tube rubber thickness, and there's more of them starting to go. So I didn't fancy my chances, look at that, continuing to use this tyre, so it had to come off. Well, the equivalent Dunlop that was available in the 418 size that this one is, I had a look online, and one outlet that I use, it wouldn't have been much change out of £180 for the current sort of equivalent of this. So I shopped around a bit and I found this Mitas, or Mitas, however you say it, ET01, and this is a 418 section, and it was, well, half the price of a Dunlop I could have bought, so I've got that on there, and I'm going to see how things work out with that, and we'll go for a ride very shortly, and I'll know straight away whether the handling and steering is acceptable on the road. I hope it is. I also decided to replace one wheel bearing, which was a little bit rough while I had the wheel off, so that's done. It's had an oil and filter changed, probably, well, at this mileage I don't think I've really been anywhere on it other than up and down the lane since. And the biggest upgrade that I've always wanted to do for some time, look under there, we've now got a bash plate, or a skid plate if you prefer. That needed to be done, because even though the off-road work I do on this will be rather gentle, I'd be gutted if a stone flew up and cracked the engine or something. It is just a shame that it doesn't come round and cover the oil filter compartment of the timing cover. Maybe that's something I can work on. Let's add a little bit and weld it on or something to protect that a little. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too anal about it. At least we got something there now. I've got the air filter. Admittedly, there's no element in that, but it's got to be offer the engine more protection than just an open bell mouth facing the rear wheel. So and it also doesn't restrict the breathing of the engine like a pillbox BSA Triumph type filter that I tried on there did. It seems to be happy enough with that on. I just had a fat hose Jubilee clipped onto the threaded portion of the tap and the entry into the float chamber, so I've got proper adapters and connections there now for a proper fuel pipe, so that's done. All little things. We've already seen that little addition I've made to the mudguard there out of an old bit of inner tube, and the additional bit of chain guarding that I got on there. So we should all be good to go and have a try out on it soon, and like I say, see how it steers and handles on that Mitas tyre, which I've got 25 psi in that for the road. Obviously Probably want to run a lower pressure than that off-road, but I'm hoping to go for a little run on it shortly and see what we've got and how it goes.